call Kersey for, you need to get your spiritual antennae up. Is it antennae or uh, antennae? Antennae? Antennas. In, uh, I'll do that later. I want to look up. It's either antennas or antennae, which means plural. I think. So I'll look it up and I'll put the right topic. Yeah, the topic. Anyway, there's a video that I put up not even a half an hour ago, 50 minutes ago. It says right here, proclaim me this among the Gentiles, prepare war. So you got the comments, various comments. And I was just watching a video that the elder out of South Kakalaki, Manata Zakbai, was doing the video drink about vampires. So I put a couple of precepts in there because he said that he would call on the name Yahweh Bashim Shai, and the vampires would miss him. This was a dream. And then he said they were running really fast, but he would call on the names of Yahweh Bashim Shai. He would run faster than them, but there were certain times that he messed up on calling on the name. He stumbled, and that happened to me many times. And when you're in your half dream, half awake, half sleep state, that's when the demons come and get you. And I would call on the name Yahweh Bashim Shai, but then the demons will have influence over your mind, just like them critters, like the bad bacteria, the candida, which I'm on a candida diet, a keto diet, which is working tremendously, based upon things not given to me by a doctor, but based upon research. Anyway, these critters, I call them, that's in your body. If you have, a candida overgrowth, you have these bad elements in you that they actually influence, especially if they're in your colon, your small intestine, your large intestine, your part of your digestive system, which that whole system, gastrointestinal system, that's where 80%, they say 85% of your immune system is in your gut. Now, they did studies and they said that in these studies that, and Esau is always doing studies. That's why they come up with new cures for this, new cures for that, because they're constantly doing studies at major universities and their medical departments. And they say that they found out that these critters, these negative critters, you got good critters and bad critters, let's say. You have bad biotics and good biotics. When you go to the hospital, what do? They jab you up, and what goes into your system is antibiotics. Now, when you kill the antibiotics, you're also killing the probiotics. And you do it enough, you'll kill most of the probiotics, the good biotics, and then the bad biotics take control of your body, and your whole floral is messed up. Look up floral, look up microbiome. Anyway, I'm getting in the subject. That's just, Spirit's on me to speak on that. But these critters, I'll call them bad biotics. What you need you need both, but you need a balance. You can't have an overgrowth of bad biotics or bad bacteria. You have good bacteria, bad bacteria. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. But one thing that they found out in these studies is that they influence your brain, your mind. When you have a craving for sweets all the time, that's those demonic critters in you, man. It's not you wanting the sweets; it's them that want the sweets. And the same goes with cancer. What keeps cancer alive is is carbohydrates and sugars, and really any sugar. Yeah, well, this is a good sugar. This manuka honey, and this. Well, manuka honey can help, but it can also hurt. Any carbs, you can't. You can have a certain amount of carbs in you. Keto diet says you can only have 30%. That's nothing, man. That's like a quarter of a little chocolate chip cookie, maybe half. You can't eat no more the rest of the day. So you can only have no more than 30 grams of carbs in you. And and carbs turns into sugar, which is rice, bread, donuts, cookies, candies, cakes, raw sugar, white sugar. You have too much of it. You're saying, well, honey's good. I can eat it all day long. Well, it is good, but well, the scriptures say that upon consuming honey, don't consume too much. Anyway, so a keto diet is not so much what you eat, is it's pretty much what you don't eat, the things that you don't eat, the things that you take away from the diet. Anyway, like I said, the influence is from those bad critters. Well, this guy right here, Paul Kersey Ford, is a bad critter. Anyway, he puts a comment up, right? Because he's not spiritually, he's deep, he's good. We know who he is. That's the tallest man in IUIC, which is Deacon Ayathan. The spirit woke him up enough to see that the MOTB, the C hip, the charagma, is in fact the what do you call it? The C hip, the micro C hip. Got to be careful how I say it. So he knows it. He sees it. The Most High opened his eyes to see that, but yet he's still, he took that coin that the Most High gave him and he buried it. So that could cause you to not make it, my man. You might have to come back on another side, man. You ain't got a backbone to stand up to your leadership and tell them that they're going wrong, brother. Oh, what does matter of fact, let me go to that. Bring this over. In the movie Excalibur, Sir Lancelot was having an affair with Guinevere, and King Arthur's sitting there at the round table. You can only be truthful. A knight can only be truthful. You cannot lie. There's no lying in you. All that old man. Y'all all saw the movie. So what was it? I forget the actual knight, but it was played by this guy, this actor who plays in made a series of movies called Taken. Liam Neeson. That's when he was real young. So King Arthur said, have we defeated evil? Is there evil in the kingdom? There's no evil. We're righteous. So he says, I know where evil is. And then you got this hoe sitting there. That's how the fucking hoes be. She's sitting there, and he said that this bitch is a hoe. She a all the way hoe. He a bitch ass hoe. She dealing with Sir Lancelot. And then King Arthur gets mad, and she gets mad knowing that she's a fucking hoe. All the way hoe. Well, how dare you? How dare that's hey, what does it say in Proverbs? What is that? Proverbs 30. Let's see if I can find it. I ain't brought that out in over 30 years. Let me put this over here. I believe it's Proverbs. I believe it's Proverbs 30. Proverbs 30. I'll find it. I'll find it. Oops. I want that. I want that. Okay. This is what Guinevere did, that whole ass bitch. Proverbs, Proverbs 30, verse 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth, and she was sitting down there not at the table, in the midst of them, and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. I've been with a lot of women, man. And all these women are hoes. Just like your mama's a hoe, your grandmama's a hoe, your sisters are hoes. If you have daughters, they hoes. Your nieces are hoes. They're all hoes. Your aunties are hoes. They're all hoes. Potential hoes, hoes in the making. All the way hoes. Let me see if that term people start using it, all the way hoes. If I see people saying they all the way hoes, I'm gonna start cracking up. But anyway, they they'll look at you. You can have all kind of evidence. You look at you, so I don't know what you're talking about. So, coming back to this right here, you got to be true to yourself. I'm not saying you a hoe, but you got to be true to thyself. And you're not being true. That's why you can't get it. That's why you get caught up on, if I see somebody that looks like an Edomite and I say he might be an Israelite. There's Israelites out there that look like that, blonde hair and blue eye. So you're thinking you're operating on a carnal level and not a spiritual level. You're not spiritually deep. And that's just a fact. Because if you was deep and you were truly a man of the most, a man of God, you would confront, the leadership of the IUIC. You call a meeting and you would say, you know what, the GMS is correct. The reason why the GMS are always putting up videos on the MOTB, the Charagma, the micro C hip, is because it's true. Be like that knight in Excalibur. Call a hoe a hoe. You ain't being true. And that's why you're all jammed up in the brain and the spirit. Well, wait a minute. Like the old Italian guy. Now he can very well be a Jake. Because when he said, we thinking he's a small hat or something else, he knew the scriptures. But let me do this. Okay, this guy right here. This guy right here. He said, I think it was Bishop Sakaran said, you a small hat, you were one of them. He said no, and he said you had us as slaves. He said no, my foreparents came over here in 1901 from Italy. I don't know if he said southern Italy, but I do know this: 95% of the Italians and the islands south of Italy, they came to the Americas for work, not the so-called pasty white, Scandinavian looking, blonde hair, blue eyed Romans, because they were doing good. They were rich. There was the Southern people. Any people that come to this country in the turn of the century, the reason why Mexicans and other Latin tribes come to this country is for better economic life economically in the hopes that they send money to their children. Hey, Jamaicans, the West Indian Islands, Haitian. Why is people going crazy to come over here to this country? Because of the standard of living is higher, you know, and that's why America is one of the great, really, America, Canada, parts of Europe. You got a lot of Arabs going to Europe and France and all that because of economic reasons, man. Not because they're looking for no goddamn freedom. Um, they teach that America's so great. You see how many people from different countries want to come to America to taste freedom? No, they don't want to come here to fucking taste no freedom. They want to come here to make more money, to up their lives. And that was during that one of the industrial revolutions in the turn of the century. So this guy, at the end of the day, because we don't have the angelic powers to look through a guy to see if he's a Edomite or a Jake. He could be a Jake. He could be a Jake. So you need to stop that, man. You need to get your spiritual antennae up, if that's an actual word. Call a spade, call a hoe. So let me see here. Where did I say I was going to go? Oh, let me go here. First Corinthians 3. And I, brethren, First Corinthians 3, verse 1, this is the Apostle Paul speaking, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual. But he couldn't get deep with the church of Corinth because they were doing too much stupid shit. But as unto carnal, even as babes in Christ. I had to what's the term? Condescend to you. You know, I had to patronize you, condescend to you, go down to your level, even as unto babes in Yahushai, newcomers. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. So now what is meat? The seed chip is meat. That's why these other major camps can't get it. The two top major camps out there, among others, that I'm talking about is IUIC and ISUPK. And that's going to be your downfall, man. That's going to be your downfall. And it's all on you, Paul Kersey. You know that the bridge is down and you motherfuckers going on a trip and you ain't saying a goddamn thing. You know the bridge went down a mile up and here you got people going 85 miles an hour. You see the fucking bridge down. You know that the bridge is down. You ain't saying a goddamn thing, man. So how deep are you? You're not deep. You better get with the program, man. You better grow a backbone. Yeah, but then they're going to take them sweet garments from me. I'm not going to be able to march down the street. And them guys that be marching with you, and not totally knocking you, because I believe that a lot of those guys that are in the IUIC, this is my personal belief, right? A lot of those guys are sincere. You can see it when they speak. They're sincere, and a lot of those guys, a lot of those men, are could very well be of the elect, the hopeful elect. I say hopeful elect. I'm not going to say I'm the elect. I hope I'm one of the elect. Give diligence to make that call and election sure. It says, I have fed you with milk. Now, what we should have did to appease you Negroes is when Brother Polite came up and asked about the whole grape thing, and we know why he asked about it. We know exactly why he brought it up. We know exactly why he brought it up. He's dealing with his court situation right now, and he did it before. You got a sex demon on him. I have fed you with milk. We should have said, Brother Polite, did you guys, they say you guys believe in grape. Do you believe in that? We should have said, nah, man, we never said that. That's what we should have said. The PC way would be, nah, I don't know who's that. Johanna said, well, Johanna's a liar. Like King Marshall looked at me and he called me a liar because I said, Lahab, I brought Lahab to council. And I said, Lahab, you stealing money. And then Lahab brought me around the court, brought my ass to council with all the top men. And I stand up, I don't give a shit, He said, yeah. He said, Lahab just told us that you saying that Lahab's stealing money. I said, well, he is stealing the money. He's a goddamn thief. And then Lahab looks at Mo and he said, and the Marshal said, where you get that from? I said, I got that from you, Marshal, King Marshal, or Marshal. Got that from you, Mo. You told me. And then Lahab looked at Marshal. Great men are not always wise. Remember what Peter did and Paul getting on them with the Gentiles, which were Israelites, vocab alone. That's why you lose. Everybody's leaving you. G-Con, this group, that group, G-Man, all of them. Sham Shimon, they're all leaving you because the Most High is not dealing with you. You got to get new members all the time. But anyway, Mo looked when I said, I said it based upon. I want to write up in the Lahab face. I said, motherfucker, you stealing money, And we're gonna call the council right now. And I said, who said that? Where'd you get that from? I said, you, Mo, you told me that. And then Mo said, you're a liar. And I didn't get mad because I said, well, he didn't want to, because Lahab was kind of intimidating. He wore the all black. We used to call him Darth Vader, AKA the Black Demon. All right. You should see him now. You should go to his page now. He really looks like Darth. Matter of fact, you know what? I ain't going nowhere right about now, but let me show you the new and the old Lahab. Everything old is new again. Let me go here. And his key man left, and he got his own page, and all he does is curse out Lahab. Let me see, Blaze Judah. See, Blaze Judah, heart is right, but he's not one of the elect. Okay, so here it is. All right, one of the latest videos, Babylon the Great, the Vatican, and America. Now you see? Now you see? He look at that. Look at that. He got studs. He got studs on his what do you call this? The face mask. He got the studs. He went back to the studs. He's wearing black. And we told you that back in the day when he was righteous Saul, before he was wicked Saul, he always used to rock white. I remember that. He used to always rock white. Then he started rocking black. But look, all you got to do is have that Darth Vader theme music in the background. So let's come back over here. And our brother could not speak as unto spiritual. I couldn't get deep. Like I said, what proved that? That these other camps are not spiritually deep, that they're babes, just talking loud and saying nothing. Like a dull knife you ain't cutting. Just talking loud and saying nothing. James Brown. When we said that, and people saw the video, and then they had the debate with Captain Tazariak and Brother Polite and Sarnetta, or Brother Polite put up the thing of us actually saying it. They said, you got these Israelite guys saying that you can rape little girls. And he showed the video, and Jake got all emotional. You know, Jake is gonna get fucked when the Most High, when the Most High really put the 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 whammy on your ass. You're gonna be all, you ain't gonna have no place to go because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's down the road. You don't know that you driving fucking 90 miles an hour going over a bridge where the bridge is down and it's foggy and you can't see shit. You're going straight, all of a sudden you go, why are we going down? You're gonna go right in the water, and most of you niggas can't swim. You're gonna panic. Oh my Lord, how you open this door? You got to open, the door won't open, the door won't open. You ain't got nothing to break the window. And if you get out the fucking car, you can't, you're gonna drown any fucking way. You go at the aftermath, you're gonna see a lot of floating niggas on top of the damn water because you have buoyancy. Thinking about Flip Wilson. Got to have buoyancy. It keeps things afloat. It says, and you know what? Hey, I'm thinking about the Jamestown incident. You know, with was this guy? You know, Jamestown, with this guy taking mostly black women down there and killing them. They got killed off, and you hoes are gonna get killed off again. You're gonna get killed off again. You're gonna be flat on your fucking face with your ass up, with a chip in your ass, with a chip in your hand. Jake ain't ready. Jake ain't ready, man. The Apostle Paul said in Acts, we were set to. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not going to go to it. Somebody can put in the live comment. We are not shunned to declare unto you the whole counsel of the Most High, meaning give you the truth. Don't hide nothing. You ask me about anything in the scriptures, I got to break it down to you. I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye were not able to bear it. And all of you groups didn't bear. Which one of you step up to the plate? Which one of you came up and said, well, look, no, the GMS was correct. Ain't no, you got all emotional, man. Neither yet now are ye able. What's now? It's here it is, September 16, 2022. Year of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai turning up, and you still ain't got it. How do I know that? How do I know that? You ain't got the charagma, the MOTB, the Revelation 13 and 16, right? You're still riffing on that. And you have the key, Paul Kersey. Love is a house, and you got the key. Love is a house, and you ain't got no love. You ain't got no love for those blind souls in the IUIC. Listen to that song. Love is a house. Give it to me. You got the key. You got the key, and you ain't letting nobody in. You're condemning them to death. I'm bugging. It says, for ye are yet carnal. That's you. The guy's a white guy. He got to be an Edomite. Because you don't have spiritual eyes to look inside a person's soul. So when this guy said, I'm an Italian, Southern Italian, well, a question mark got to come up. There's a possibility that he could be a Jake. Yeah, but look at his nose. Look, there's niggas with straight nose that look like Bambi. For whereas there is among you envying, strife, divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? You're not walking in spiritual light. You're not seeing with spiritual eyes. For while one saith, I am a Paul, that goes into something else. That's the visions, Apollos, Paul, and so forth. That was also in 1 Corinthians, First Corinthians, the first chapter. Okay? So for you to come up and say, now you got to say this. let me come back over here. You got to let me read the comment. I don't know if I read it. It said, Paul Kersey 4, Apostle Tahar, I hear you out on the I hear you out on the Italians being our people. Well, wait a minute. What don't did not was not Israel scattered throughout the whole planet Earth? Did not the Moors and other Israelites go down there? I used to work with somebody whose wife was a straight up Sicilian, and I told her, I said, you know about this? She went, she's like, yeah, they're black. Moors took us over. And then she said, this is the first time I heard this. She said, the woman that would get raped by the Moors used to say, mafia, mafia, which is supposed to be the mafia. And she said, mafia means my family, meaning come and save me. This big black man is going to rape me. Look at the movie, what's the damn movie? What's the damn movie? True Love, I think it's called. Is it called True Love? True Romance. Great, great movie. Tarantino. And Tarantino knows that he got the Morris. That's why he put it in the movie. Did you see that movie? Did you see that movie, Paul Kersey 4? Did you see that movie? There's a scene in the movie where, what's his name? Clarence Hurley, father, played by this guy. He died. I forget his name. Somebody can put it in. I can't, I'm getting old. But anyway, he got these Sicilian guys, and they're ready to kill him. So they said they know they're gonna kill him anyway, whether he gives them the information or not. So he said, well, let me just tell him the truth. He said, I do a lot of studying. I do a lot of reading history, especially history. I'm fascinated by that shit. And then he breaks down that the Southern Italians are nothing but niggas. He said, can I get a Chesterfield? Smoke a cigarette. And you hear the music, that famous music. What I'll do is I'll find the music and I'll play it. It's beautiful music, Anyway, he tells the story. The music changes up. Great direction from Tarantino. Tarantino knows he's a Jake, and he had an uncle or his mother's boyfriend was Jake, and I think the movie came out, and he said, I told you, we the Moors, that's why we changed the whole Italian, whatever, Southern Italian. That's why you got a lot of, you go down to like Southern Italy, you get a lot of dark, man, I went to school with Sicilians that looked just like Negroes, had frozen all that. Look like Gadites, some old spaghetti westerns. You know who played the Indians? Them Sicilians, man, because they made them. They call them spaghetti westerns because they were made down there in Italy. So when anytime they needed so-called Gadite, they got Sicilians to play the Gadite, the darker ones, and they look just like Gadites because they are Israelites. So let me finish reading this, and I'm gonna close. It says. Apostle Tahar, I hear you out on the Italians being our people. Some of them are. Could be 50%, could be 80%, could be, I'm talking about Southern Italians, could be 40%. But anytime you run into somebody that says he's of Italian descent, especially, Bo Dietl, the guy, the New York guy, cop that became a detective, you see him on certain news shows. He had an interview with Al Sharpton, and Al Sharpton called him a white boy. He said, I ain't no white boy. He said, I'm just as black as you. I'm Sicilian. So he knows. So it says, Apostle Tahar, I hear you out on the Italians being our people, but what you must also understand, which you have no understanding, is that those people from Southern Italy or even north are and can be racist point blank. What the fuck? Well, if that's the case, if they're racist, that makes them look. You got Simeonites that are dark as black as the blackest Negro out there with woolly hair, And then what did they put on their application? White. You couldn't go near a Simeonite woman as a so-called black man. I done met Simeonite woman. I met this one woman. She was fine as hell. I sat down next to her. We started talking. I wasn't trying to get with her, nothing like that, but we just started talking. And she thought I was, Simeon. And I told her, I said, no. I said, I'm black, so you can understand. And she said, okay, well, you look Dominican. And then she said, you're not like, you black, but you're not like that black person over there. They had a dark-skinned Jake, standing by the door. Because she looked at me. I told her that I'm a so-called Negro, but she couldn't see it. So she was a racist. She was a racist against black. That's a known fact. That's a known fact. They pride themselves on them Spanish names. Oh, the Simeonite woman, they'll get with a white boy. They think the white boy is God. They get with, I know a lot of fine ass Simeonites out there that get with these old goofy ass white boys. So according to that, they got to be Hamites, right? Or you got the Jamaican tribes. They hate Jake, except for the ones that come up here and they're great. They might marry a woman, have children that are half Jamaican, half this, half. There's a big thing going on with Tariq Nasheed about the music industry, and he's saying like he got a thing called the FBA, Fundamental Black Americans, where he pretty much gets on the Jamaicans and he snaps it, but they're our own people. And then the Latins, they're our people, but they're different tribes. It says, but what you must also understand is that those people from southern Italy, which I would say most of them, if not all of them, most of them are Jake, or even north are and can be racist. Jake, there's black American women that only deal with white boys. So does that make her a heathen? Point blank. And as for Sardinia, and like I said, Sardinia, if you look at the flag, if you look at the flag of Sardinia, matter of fact, let me do this. Let's see if I can bring this up. Okay, Sardinia. Let me put a flag. Sardinia is the second largest island in the Mediterranean Sea after Sicily. Let me put in flag. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. A red cross with 4 images of Moors. Those are Moors. 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 Those are Moors. The red, I don't know if that's stripe, George's cross, a red St. George's cross. The Sardinian flag consists of a red St. George's cross. In each of the 4 partitions, you can see a black head, that of a Moor, facing left in the old flag pre 1999, or right in the more modern one. That's the basics about the flag of Sardinia. Why would they have a flag which is a St. George's cross, the red cross, and why would they have 4 images? Look like the same guy. Why would they have an image of? Why would they stand for that? And it tells you it's a Moor, Moor. It says in each of the four partitions, you can see a black head, that of a Moor. So I was right. We do our fact checks, man. And you need to stop getting emotional, brother. You in the wrong camp, man. We know you're a secret disciple of GMS. It says that place is pretty much a no-go for so-called blacks. Look, you go to LA from New York, they find out from New York, they might kill you. What's this dude? What is his name? PBN, whatever his name is, Rock. There's all kind of new shit coming out that it was a setup. They really didn't want to rob him. There was like a beef that goes back a year ago. But anyway, he's from Philly, right? You know, he was flossing out there. He had a Maybach, he had the jewelry on. He's in that Roscoe's is smack dab in the middle of one of them hoods. Well, guess what? Them Jakes that killed them, are they Edomites or Hamites? Jake mostly gets killed by other Jakes. That's hate. So does that make them tears? It said, but overall, as a nation of people, they are not fond of our people. We're not fond of. Motherfucker, most niggas get killed by other niggas. They have the Africans, Hamites over there suffering. Well, you said the Africans and Hamites, so what? The Seminoles had Jake slaves, man, over there suffering and on the bottom. Jake don't give it. That's called self-hate, man. That's what that's called. So you caught up in your emotions. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom on to the next one.